And I was home enjoying the Cubs game, and the nice thing is this is the Cubs game so far, 5-6. So we were hoping for a big crowd, but it is World Series time, and I'm going to stand over here, so if anyone wants to move and fill in, because I'm not going to skid up at the podium, but a more intimate group like this, and it's really my intent tonight for Pradeep and myself. First of all, let me just open the meeting, because with a quorum here, we are fortunate to have 3 members of the City Council. So we'd like to recognize at the back of the room, speaking to the men in blue, keeping an eye on them, is Councilwoman Liza Normandy is here this evening. As is our Vice Mayor, Pradeep Gupta. And so happy to have him here, because one of the items that we wanted to go over a little bit as it comes online is that Peninsula Clean Energy issue. That there's still some confusion, so Pradeep is the master when it comes to that particular issue, serving on that authority's board. And I'm attendance, as I said, I had my mind and eyes on the game just a little bit ago. So, the interesting thing about the Cubs is the last time they were in the World Series and won, South San Francisco, that was the year we became a city. So that's, the historical context is pretty remarkable. So I'm going to go over a few items that we have shared with you in other venues, and there's always new faces, so it's an opportunity to talk directly to you. But at this town hall, what we'd really like to do, while I'm talking, if you're developing questions, I really want to leave a good amount of the time for questions from the neighborhoods, because the reality is the City Council, out of necessity, spends an awful lot of time on what we call the big issues, right? The issues of the day. I mean, major development that's so very important for our future, and we are so very fortunate to be ground zero for a lot of what's happening in San Mateo County. So our future looks great, but really day to day, the City Council needs to deliver for the neighborhoods and what your lives are like. So I do need to hear from you, and certainly Liza and Pradeep are looking forward to hearing your questions and your concerns for your city of South San Francisco. So just a week or so ago, on a Saturday, we had a grand opening of the Carnegie Library, the original library on Grand Avenue. And it was closed for about a year, and when we opened it up and we saw it together, we, as your elected leaders, were very proud of what we were able to create with, only a little over $3 million. But the original investment from the Carnegie Foundation was $10,000. But 100 years later, because that's the age of the library, we have a spectacular facility, which, while small, is wonderful for that part of the community. And really what it tells this side of town is that we have the same standards as far as the resources that we provide, as we build a new main library on the other side of town. What's wonderful there is we've watched for a very long time that little portion of the green space in between City Hall and the library. We would see people picnicking there or having lunch there during the day because it was a sheltered area. So not sure who came up with the idea, but Valerie ran with the idea that we would have an outdoor reading sitting space. So there is a patio, an enclosed or a gated patio that is accessible from the library, where you can take your materials out there and enjoy the downtown. So we're very proud of that. We wanted to, the other big item we want to talk about, because it's on so many people's minds, affordable housing and what is happening in our community as far as some aggressive landlords that are taking too much advantage of this current environment, and they're squeezing people in a way that forces them sometimes to leave the community, and regardless of how long they've been here. And that's always a sad day, especially when it involves families, because you're not just uprooting people with jobs, you're uprooting children that have acclimated to our schools and have to do that again. So we have been very aggressive in permitting housing units. We have 4 major projects, about 2,000 housing units. And some of them include provisions for a portion being affordable housing, some do not. But we're hoping that the increased housing will take some of the pressure off generally. And I don't know if 2,000 units in a city with 22,000 currently is enough to move the dial, but it's our best effort so far. And we hope to be able to maybe in the next few years. I think Mike Futrell at a recent meeting mentioned that Mike is at the back of the room. Mike Futrell is celebrating 2.5 years with the city, I think, at this point. And he's brought us a long way in 2.5 years because he has a different philosophy on what South San Francisco could be. Sometimes it takes somebody new to come in and kind of get you to bring your game up, because many of us have been here for a very long time. And Mike has helped us with the big vision, so thank you, Mike. So 100 Baden Avenue, the first project downtown with housing to come out of the ground, is where the former First National Bank was, and it's going to be our first 5-story building. 5 stories? Yeah, 5 stories in the downtown, because up to this point, it's just been the Metropolitan Hotel at 3 stories. So we're starting to, we're a long ways from skyscrapers, but we're moving up. So we'll see how that's received. But we're hoping along Airport Boulevard, it's the right place to have the height. So the old Ford dealership, that's supposed to break ground in a very short time. In December, we will change the offices, and the vice mayor will most likely, with the necessary votes, become the mayor, and he will preside over a lot of the ribbon cutting and groundbreaking. And the Ford, the Saris Regis development at the old Ford site should happen groundbreaking in December. And that's, right now, is going to be at least 260 units of housing, and it'll change the entrance. The Miller Avenue exit, Grand Avenue exit, that's kind of tired. It'll give a different perspective for people as they come into South San Francisco. So we're looking forward to that. And then Centennial Village, that long-awaited project over at Spruce and El Camino Real. They're having some difficulties in the financial market, but they think they've sorted it out, and we're hoping to see that happen in the next few months. At least the demolition of the old commercial buildings, the old Safeway and CVS, to see those come down. Sometimes it's not government, but it's other nonprofits or organizations that can do so much to improve a community. And in the case of housing, the Rotary Plaza, part of the Rotary International, the local Rotary Club, they recently finished a remodel. They had a little ribbon cutting there for the remodel, and they spent $20 million on 179 units. And it is a fantastic residential space for senior citizens now. So in addition to that, they're doubling down in the downtown area, where they're going to build 81 units along Miller Avenue, pretty much across from the parking garage. So we need to give big thank yous to the local Rotary Club. This is something that most Rotary Clubs don't do. The one on Alito Way was the first in the nation as far as housing, and they can continue to be leaders. So it's just remarkable what a nonprofit can do with the help of the city. I mean, there was a gift of land for the Miller Avenue project, and but a little bit of land goes a long way when you have a group like this that is able to finance the multi-million-dollar project. And then the next up, I'm gonna, because my mouth is getting a little dry, I'll need some water. I think that I'm gonna turn it over to Pradeep Gupta. The Vice Mayor is gonna talk a little bit, or as much as he wants, about clean energy.
Thank you very much, Mayor Addiego. And thank you all for coming down here and giving me a chance to bring you up to date on what's going on in the city, besides all the good news that Mayor Addiego has already outlined for all of you. It's very clear that we are, as a city, all together, taking care of our immediate problems, such as housing, trying to, and as well as development in the right direction, and trying to tackle issues that emerge from those kind of solutions. We all know about them. But besides those near-term immediate problems that we need to solve, there are some long-term issues that we can't ignore. And one of those long-term issues is the quality of our environment for our kids and grandkids. And frankly, our city has been doing a lot regarding energy conservation, water conservation, and all kinds of things which will improve the future environment for our kids and grandkids. Now, in that context, I wanted to mention to you the new small component for electricity supply, Peninsula Clean Energy. I'm very, very happy to share with you that all 20 cities of San Mateo County are now members of this new organization. And Peninsula Clean Energy, as some of you might have thought, is not a competitor to PG&E. Actually, it's a team effort between PG&E and Peninsula Clean Energy. PG&E still supplies electricity to you as they always have been. They will be still sending you the bills as they always have been. They will take care of any problems. If the electricity goes out, to fix it for you. They will come and trim the trees if they need to. But the only difference between the way you used to use electricity from PG&E and from Peninsula Clean Energy is that the source of electricity itself is cleaner. It's all coming from, at least part of it is coming from renewable energy, like wind and solar. It's not producing like natural gas or coal, some byproducts which dirty the air. So Peninsula Clean Energy, I'm very proud to announce, is actually an organization of all of you, because it's an organization composed of 20 cities plus the county, and the board of the Peninsula Clean Energy is one representative from each city. I am fortunate to have been given that honor from our council. They selected me to represent the city of South San Francisco on the board. The Peninsula Clean Energy kicked off on October 1. So some of you have started receiving electricity from Peninsula Clean Energy. And I bet none of you really noticed what happened on the midnight of October 1st. It just became Peninsula Clean Energy, electricity coming to your house. There are only two major differences now as compared to PG&E. One is that it is environmentally cleaner, as I said. What does that mean? PG&E's supply right now, at this point in time, is about 30% content comes from clean sources, like renewable resources, 30% of all the electricity, all the energy you use from PG&E. Peninsula Clean Energy, the default product, like if you don't do anything, you're going to get 50% instead of 30% clean energy from solar or wind. And not only that, the board has insisted that no matter what, we will be always 5% lower in price than PG&E generation rates. So it will be cleaner energy and slightly cheaper. Not enough to really do something big, but slightly cheaper. So it doesn't go over the bill that you used to pay. Another product of Peninsula Clean Energy is what we call Eco 100. Means if you're really environmentally conscious, you can opt up. Means that you will get 100% of electricity coming to your house, which is all from renewables. No fossil fuels, no gas, no coal, no nuclear, just pure, natural, renewable, without, and 100% GHG free. And this will cost you a little bit more. To give you an example, if you are an average customer of PG&E right now, and I have some numbers here I wanted to share with you. If you're an average customer of PG&E, using about 440 kilowatt hours of electricity per month, that's the way they did the calculations. Average is about 445 units of power, or what we call kilowatt hour. In 1 month, you will be paying about $87 a month for that service to PG&E right now, today, if you are not Peninsula Clean Energy. If you went up to Peninsula Clean Energy, which gives you a little bit better, cleaner energy, you'll be paying about $85, $2 less. Not too much to break the World Bank, but still $2 less than PG&E per month. If you went to that 100% clean energy, which we call Eco Plus, it will cost you $4 more, $89. $2 more than what PG&E would be charging you for 30% clean. This will be 100% clean. And it will be $2 more than Peninsula Clean Energy's own 50% clean energy. The other thing I would like to point out to you is that this is completely voluntary. And it's going to be phased in 2 phases. First phase, as I said, has started on October 1st, and the number of customers, number of accounts that have been transferred on October 1 are 7,199. So 7,199 customers of PG&E on October 1 became Peninsula Clean Energy, and you have 60 days, if you don't like Peninsula Clean Energy for some reason, to opt out without any cost, without anything. You just take a phone call, or if you go to internet, just one click of the button and you can be back to PG&E. No question about it. The next phase will be in April of 2017, and that will bring in another 17,000 customers. So in total, we'll be about 25,000 customers in the county being served. Now, all the other 20 cities, other 19 cities are also with us 100%. So we are actually posing a significant effort in this. Peninsula Clean Energy, to me, is a startup. But it is a startup with people like you. We have our representation. I'm representing you. That's not that easy to do with PG&E board. Also, we are trying to provide many of these new sources of electricity from our own efforts. So we'll try to see if we can create some new local resources, renewable energy resources, hiring local labor to do those things. So we want to become self-sufficient and clean in the future. So I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on. We have started. You have all the options to opt up to 100% or opt out back to PG&E or stay where you are without doing anything. Thank you very much. And if there's time after Mayor Addiego finishes his talk, I'll be very happy to take those. Thank you.
Nice to already put him on their board of directors. And he'll cover it well for South San Francisco. And so before we get started on more items, I just wanted to, for members of the public that don't maybe yet know all the players, because so many new people have come on board in recent times, I'd like to introduce, and we don't need to clap for everyone, we'll introduce and then we'll give a big round of applause. Leslie Arroyo is our communications director. If you could stand so people could see you. Gerald Coleman is the fire chief. Jess Magallanes is the deputy fire chief. And let's see what we introduced. Oh, Dave Bachhaus is with Public Works. And Greg Mediotti is with the Park and Recreation. And you know, at the last, we had a biotech town hall. We invited people from the industry, and when I was going over what we were going to be bringing to South San Francisco, and I was enthusiastically talking about the new Civic Center and the $150 million, and I don't think I surprised the chief of police, but I kind of made mention that the library was #1 on my list. And then I looked and I spotted the chief, and I said, in a close second is the new police station. And look at tonight, he's brought backup. He's got both of his captains. Holy smokes. Okay, so yes, so maybe running neck and neck is the library and the police station. I wanted to talk about Measure W, because we had constituted, this was an important element that was part of what we voted on, was to have a citizens oversight committee. I think 201, the city council was blown away by the talent that came out and asked to serve the city on the oversight body. We have professional people, some retired, some still in the game, from the finance and you know, the world that will be able to really take that audit, that annual audit, and dig through it and make sure, you know, regarding collection of funds and expenditure of monies, that we're doing the right thing. In addition to that, we have 2 community stalwarts that were initially named as the interim chair and vice chair. Mike Brosnan was a deputy police chief before he recently retired, and he's well known in the community, and you know, he's got a lot of the game. He was instrumental in helping pass Measure W, so he is the interim chair of the Measure W Oversight Committee. And then in the audience today is a former planning commissioner, and a gentleman who in his career managed large sums of money and was responsible for the oversight of those. Actually, I'll just ask Bill Zemke to stand up for a moment just so people can see a face on the oversight body. And then Christine Wong and Alex Zhang are two people from the financial world who have been in the community for a short amount of time that are willing to serve and give their time, and they just had wonderful wonderful resumes. And then Herman Alcalde, who's been in the community many, many years and recently retired, so he is, and are any of them here? I think, no, they didn't want to listen to them there. Okay. So the project over there, what we used to call the PUC lands, basically, everyone knows where the pet club is. If you have pets, that's where you need to go because the food is really cheap. But they won't be there forever because that's really the site of the police station. And then alongside El Camino Real is where we would put a combined library and recreation facilities, about 86,000 square feet. The police department would be about 40,000 square feet of space. And then we will have to build another fire station, and it most likely will be on the opposite side, the side where the MSB is now, because that's where it needs to be able to serve the community. Yes.
You're going too fast.
Am I?
The police department is going to be moved, and the fire department is going to be moved where?
So, do we? Yes, we do. That's excellent. Leslie, thank you. So if you're on Chestnut Avenue, this is the site of the pet club. The police department would be nearby. And then this is El Camino Real. The existing municipal services building is this corner. So along the stretch from Chestnut up to basically Arroyo would be this building that fronts El Camino and would serve both library needs and park and rec needs as far as facilities. And again, that's about 86,000 square feet of space, and that's a 40,000 square foot building. And then the idea is that the fire station 63 needs to still be on that side of El Camino to be able to serve what it's responsible for. Okay, the city council ended up in quite a quagmire in regards to LED lighting. You know, those new bright lights that we thought were going to make everybody happy, and half the people said they're okay, and the other half said that they were not an improvement to our world. So Pradeep and I, on different occasions, went up to get educated, and the University of Davis has what is called a Lighting Technology Center at the university. Dr. Michael Siminovich is well known, and they're receiving representatives of municipal government from Houston, from Honolulu. That's just a couple of the communities that we're coming up after. So what we're learning is that turning up the heat, getting that bright light, it doesn't necessarily make it better for your ability to have greater sight as far as distance. It creates cones of bright and cones of darkness. And so we are moving in a different direction where we'll have lower wattage, a warmer color, which is similar to what we gave up when we walked past the high pressure sodium. Yeah. When it comes to electricity, I always turn to anyway, so the new lights that we selected are similar to what they put in the city of Davis, and we witnessed those, and we thought they were much more friendly to the human condition as far as sight. And that's a project that Mr. Bachhaus, would you like to say 2 words about this? Have we started the project?
It's done as of the second.
It's done. That was fast, because I thought the lights just arrived 2 weeks ago. So if you want if someone in the community wanted to see the difference, they would drive into the Peck's Lot neighborhood, which is the most northern neighborhood that we have on the way to Brisbane, and they should be able to see the difference. They're on now. Okay, that's great. Oyster Point. So a big project. I hope I'm not repeating myself. It seems that we're always on this, these big ticket items. But I do want to mention Oyster Point and a project that looked like it was maybe going to be the last development on the east of 101 side of the freeway is now prepared to move more rapidly, which is important because monies were set aside, redevelopment monies, which for the most part all went back to the state when Jerry Brown said redevelopment is over. But because we had a working development agreement, the $30 million that we had set aside for that project can still be used on that project, but it has to be used in a timely way. So we had a partnership, a developer from San Francisco, two developers from San Francisco, and they didn't seem to have the vision that a new developer, which is called Greenland USA, and Greenland USA is their parent company is Greenland in Shanghai, China. So we know they have besides having the ability, they have the financial ability to see this project through. And this is going to, I believe it's going to be a catalyst for the entire Oyster Point area. Kind of similar to when somebody invested at AT&T baseball park in San Francisco, and then you see things happen quite rapidly. It changes the game. I think this investment by overseas money is going to bring a great deal of additional improvement in the completion of the Oyster Point area. So I think I really want to see what's on your minds